Yes. Hello. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. I don't know how. Well, I'll just do it. I'm just gonna do it. I guess. I mean, whatever. So, uh, it's hard to do what I want to do without it coming across the wrong way. Anyway, so I was talking to somebody about my channel and stuff, and there's this one guy that he runs a channel too, and every once in a while we'll chat and talk about whatever, and he knows about my last channel and stuff, and so we kind of keep in contact and everything, and yeah, and we'll talk about our channel, like what's going on, kind of a little bit, and like I watch his channel, and I like it. It's good, his channel's good, and so, and like the last time I talked to him, it was kind of weird because he was like, dude, your videos are good, man. And I don't know how genuine he is. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's if someone's just being nice, that's fine. um, um, but he might have watched one of my videos and just thought it was good. I don't know. I don't know. I keep trying to explain this on my channel, like, sometimes the bear eats me, or sometimes I eat the bear, and sometimes the bear eats me. My channel, but like I said, like that guy, he was like, yeah, your videos are good and stuff, and I was like, really? Well, thanks, man. I don't know. But I review my videos, and sometimes they are good, but like my whole view of is that, like, that's why I keep saying I stole that line uh, from a movie where he says, sometimes you eat the bear and sometimes the bear eats you. That's kind of the nature of my channel, is sometimes I'll have good videos and sometimes I won't, and I don't really care. Like, if I spend time like trying to focus on putting out what's a good video and focusing on that, it's not really the point for me. It's not, and it really isn't. I mean, with the exception of the storyboard, which that's the storyboard, the whole point of it is to just get everything out. So, and I keep explaining this, get everything out so then I can step back and look at it and figure out how to do a good presentation. But I'm not going to be able to, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be able to until I do the storyboard process. And it's just easier to use video format than it is to, have a physical storyboard where I'm pinning fucking post-it notes and all this shit all over a big board. It's just easier to just use this. And I suppose I could put it all at private, I suppose, but I don't. That's another thing where I don't really see the point, because I don't have a lot of subscribers. I don't expect this to really get a lot of subscribers and shit and views and stuff, and so then I just figure if there are views, it's just people that are, for whatever reason, are curious and watching some of my stuff, and that's okay, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be doing something to like cater to my audience or whatever, per se, like I had a guy ask me if I would review an album, and I did it. I was happy to do it. And actually, like, if somebody does want to ask what my thoughts are on something, I will. Like, if somebody's like, dude, will you do a video on blah blah blah, I'll probably do it, you know, like, why not? So but anyways, and uh yeah, but yeah, that's kind of just what I'm doing. Like, this channel is really more of just like an experiment. I'm not really, I'm just going to be doing whatever I want. And that's kind of, you know, what I want to do with this channel. It's funny because I was kind of just going to go over like, well, what, you know, because typically channels have a focus. And so if I had, say, for example, say if I had this phone and it had the internet on it, then I could go like, all right, let's see what do other channels do, and then I could scroll through and show like, okay, look at this channel here, and use and just kind of go over like what is the typical format for a channel, and it's all, you know, and and there's nothing necessarily wrong with this standard format that channels use. But again, I'm not doing that with my channel. And but it would be, I would be curious, like, just explore like, well, okay, if I were to just focus on a specific kind of subject, like typically channels do, well, what are other channels doing? And so when you think of other channels, like I just clicked on a video, and it was the channel's called Think About It, and it's actually one that I'm subscribed to on BitChute. And so, and it is a decent channel. Like, the channel goes over some really interesting stuff. You know, it always brings it all back around to you know, God and Jesus and the Bible. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's the focus of the channel. It'll talk about how this is going on in the world, and that's going on in the world, and these things, and then kind of bring it all in, like, you know, like God predicted this, the Bible said this was going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of the focus of that channel. And this is a typical format that people do, you know, like Ramsey Paul. Here's some channels that I do watch, you know. Ramsey Paul is pretty decent. And what's Ramsey Paul's focus is politics, you know. Sticks, Hex, and Hammer is another one sometimes I watch to keep a pulse on what's going on in politics. But in Sticks is the same thing. The focus is politics. You know, you can pull some lower hanging fruit like Alex Jones, same thing, politics, mostly politics, and you know, and how it relates to the New World Order and Illuminati, and you know, like, and like most of the channels that I'm subscribed to on BitChute are they just publish movies so that I can watch free movies, which is like, you know, I've become really cynical. Well, I've always have been, but regarding the internet and like video hosting platforms, I've become extremely cynical, because I saw YouTube before YouTube aborted itself, and it was amazing. And ever since YouTube aborted itself, there hasn't been anything that's replaced it. You know, and I've tried BitChute and Rumble and, you know, and other things, and looked around, and I'm not seeing anything happening. It's all just the same thing, you know. Ever since YouTube aborted itself, nothing has really changed for the most part. And so that kind of fuels my cynicism, as much as people's cynicism for mainstream media, because that's all that, ever since YouTube aborted itself, that's pretty much what has happened to video hosting platforms. They've just kind of mirrored mainstream media. Everything is about monetization. Monetize your channel, monetize your videos. And so it's all about, you know, monetizing a person's channel. That's all it's become. And to find any channel that isn't doing that is really hard to do. And just, you can observe, I've been observing, because I ran a channel for 6 years, averaging 3 to 4 videos a week. I'm observing all of this video hosting platform stuff all the time, and that's all I see is all these channels are just monetizing their shit, and I'm not like that. Like that's why I bring up Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa was always exposing all of these rock stars, because that's what they do, monetize their art. They're putting product placement in their music videos on MTV to monetize the art. They're not doing it for the love of the art. And Frank Zappa devoted his entire life to exposing all these frauds that are monetizing with product placement and all this other stuff there, and it's ruining the art of music. It's ruining MTV, you know. And it's the same with all these video hosting platforms. They've ruined them. I don't think it was YouTube that aborted itself as much as it was the users, you know. So, you know, so my channel is not doing what other channels are doing, you know. And it's not for this, it's not so much for the sake of just not doing what other channels are doing. It's more about just me doing what I want with my channel. That's all it is, you know. And over the years, I've heard all the same stuff from people, you know, as far as, you know, I don't know if you want to call it constructive criticism or whatever. You know, you get everything from constructive criticism to trolls. And I've experienced all this stuff, you know. I'm not referring to this channel. I'm referring to my years, all these years of experience doing this. And I've always used this format, as far as I don't take other people's content and mirror it on my channel. I've always done my own commentary, you know. And I video myself talking. I don't have to video myself. I could turn the camera around and have it face so that nobody has to look at me and I don't have to look at myself. Like, you know, whatever the case, the format is I just talk about what I want to talk about, you know. And when I ran the channel for 6 years, the focus was a very specific focus, you know. But the thing is that it wasn't ever a popular subject. And this is the thing, when you look at what is the standard format that your average channel does, they just take a popular subject and focus on it. They just take they base their channel's topic on something that's very popular, like politics or religion, you know. And I'm trying to draw back in memory, like what do channels like typically focus on? I mean, you'll have channels that talk about you know, where the focus is cryptids or something, you know, and that's fine, you know. But whatever. I personally don't see the point in sticking to a standard format with my channel. And I'm not trying to chase viewers and subscribers away, but at the same time, I am not targeting a specific audience. I'm not like looking for people. I'm not, my content isn't towards a target audience, like people who are interested in discussing politics or cryptids or religion or really anything. Like, my content is all over the place, and so is the storyboard. Like when I'm trying to flesh out this storyboard, it's that the storyboard is all over the place. Now, my goal for the storyboard itself is to eventually take all of that and make a cohesive, like, where it's not all over the place. It's just a straightforward narration of the experience I had. But yeah, I am all over the place on this channel. I'm not doing any of this to try to troll people or whatever. I mean, it's just really not, I guess it's just not something that is really watchable for people unless they want to. It's totally up to the individual, you know. But you know, I guess part of what my channel is based in is just what I've experienced with video hosting platforms. You know, that's why I'll reference how, you know, I observed what YouTube was before it aborted itself. And I've observed that has never been what YouTube was, which was amazing before it aborted itself. That's never been recovered. You know, there is nothing like it. And it's kind of like I talk about Grateful Dead sometimes. Grateful Dead is a perfect example of you'll never recreate what the Grateful Dead did. And even like Frank Zappa, you know, these things there's these things that happen that are really cool, and then they're gone. And then once they're gone, people try to bring it back, like people try to recreate it and stuff, and they're not successful. And the YouTube thing, what YouTube was before it aborted itself, everybody's trying to bring it back, like that there's some way that to make it to bring that phenomenon back. And I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for 6 years, you know, or more, and I saw what YouTube was before it aborted itself, and I see what it is now, and I see what BitChute is, and I see what Rumble is, you know, and Odyssey is fairly similar. It's all pretty much the same. There isn't any like groundbreaking thing going on with video hosting platforms like there was with YouTube before it aborted itself. And so anyways, so yeah, and so like if I talk about trolling and stuff, I'm talking about my experience that I've had over all these years. I'm not referencing this one channel. Like I only have 3 subscribers, you know, like I'm not talking about. And also another thing is when I'm referencing trolling also, if and when I do, I don't know specifically having done so, but I'm sure I have on this channel. Dude, I'm on BitChute all the time. Like, you see nothing but masses of trolling, you know, bot farming. Just like it's totally insane. It's totally insane, and shit like that. And then even you know, like me and my buddy were talking about shadow banning and stuff like that, and even this channel though, despite how all over the place I am on my channel, it's shadow banned. Like, because, and I believe that. I believe that anybody doing a channel, it's just going to get shadow banned and throttled. It doesn't matter what you do. You can go by the book, be as conventional as possible, and do everything. Your channel's going to get shadow banned. And the more a channel goes out off script, like when I start saying the word fuck and cunt, it's just going to shadow ban my shit. If I'm talking about, you know, Covideodrome and jabs and Zionism, that's just going to shadow ban it more. You know, because they want a bunch of fluff. They want, like, They just want a bunch of commercialized, monetized type content, you know, that's like friendly, that's like mainstream media friendly kind of content. And anything that's not doing that is going to get shadow banned no matter what. No matter what. It doesn't matter, you know. And so, like, my buddy, who's ran a channel longer than I have, I think, he was pointing that out to me. He was saying, like, the shit that I'm talking about on this channel, they're definitely, like, it's automatic. It's artificial intelligence shadow banning. It's like it's just, it isn't personal. Like, it's just that the way all this AI shit works with algorithms, they're all the things that I'm saying are all the things that they shadow ban. And YouTube is that's what YouTube does, you know. More so now than any time in YouTube's history. And I already know this. This is how I approach YouTube already. It isn't like it's some mystery that I'm discovering. I knew that going in. And that's why I just do what I want. Like, there is no point in trying to appease to appease YouTube, because then I would just be, my videos would just be like commercials, you know, product placement commercials. And, you know, it's like, that's not what I want to do. And so it just inspires me more to just do whatever I want. Like, fuck it, you know? So anyway. So, I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, I guess for others, and, you know, I suppose people could say myself, how unfortunate that my channel sucks. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Like, what other people think of me is none of my business. What other people think of my channel is really none of my business. You know, it really isn't, you know. You know, I think whatever, a person can think whatever they want about my channel. It's really none of my business. I'm just doing this, like, whatever. It's just what I'm doing, you know. And you know, if people want to watch it, that's great. That's nice. I'm glad. If people don't, well, you know, I guess maybe that's a bummer. And you know, but is that really gonna stop me from what I'm doing? No, I'm just kind of a hard-headed fucking asshole. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and it's not out of spite for any particular individual or anything. If it is out of spite, it's more just out of spite for just the way all this works, algorithms and shadow banning and fashion and trends and just all the stupid shit of the way this whole thing works. If it's out of spite for anything, it's just for that. And that's it.